Hallöchen, da bin ich wieder und wir machen weiter mit Tales of Arise. Wir waren aktuell in der Stadt von Vistcent und haben hier praktisch den Berater des Lords besiegt, beziehungsweise der ist abgehauen nach Eldemahacha oder wie das Dorf, nach Mahaxa. Und da wollen wir jetzt tatsächlich auch hin, weil da ist der nächste Lord.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Und natürlich gibt es ja auch direkt wieder irgendeine Eule.
Mahaxar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Get lost!
Double Demon Fang!
Hear me!
Destruction! Double Demon Fang! Here I come!
Do it! They rush you!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
No choice! Damn it! Destruction!
Instant!
Crush! Orochi's Fury!
Blow away!
Raging storm!
Anything in armor is
Light
Destruction!
Astrology!
Orochi's Fury!
Art expert coming through! A freezing storm!
This one keeps
Do it!
charging us!
That's what I shoot! Demon's Descent!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
This one's all mine!
Raging Cascade! Sleep now! Now!
I'm
Lock!
destructed!
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Blah blah blah!
Drag it out!
Freeze Sleep now! More for the stockpile!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Die Eule ist also hier direkt in der Nähe. Das ist super. Jetzt müssen wir sie nur finden. Okay. Ah, da oben. Schuhu, schuh. Dämonischer Schwanz.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Und irgendwas geht im Wald vor sich. Ja, nachdem wir das Gebiet hier durchquert haben, werde ich auf jeden Fall mal in den Eulenwald gehen, um zu gucken, ob wir jetzt auch alle Eulen von Vistcent beziehungsweise von Eldemahacha haben. Ja.
Hi, Hoodle!
Do you require a hand?
And again!
Try this on for size!
May 1,000 gales carry you
Come and
away!
face me! It's over!
Dusty nail!
I'm on it!
Siren instant!
Strike! Not a chance!
Lunar blast!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Orochi's Fury!
Dusty nail! Lightning!
We're in good form!
A fish!
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done.
Das Angelspiel.
Hey, what do you think about that spot?
Good idea. I'll go for that one. Nothing's biting.
Ja. Ja, ich muss noch schauen, wie das geht.
Not my lucky day, I guess. Nothing's biting.
Ah,
Not my lucky day, I guess.
okay. Ich glaube, ich habe es jetzt ein bisschen besser verstanden.
Nothing's biting. Looks like I lost it.
Okay, also es bringt auch nicht wirklich was, wenn man im grünen Bereich bleibt irgendwie. Probier's jetzt noch einmal.
Nothing's biting.
Ja. Dann beenden wir das mal, weil
And
das
that's all there
ist...
is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
Hey, du scheinst ja zu wissen, wie man mit einer Rute richtig umgeht. Ich angle schon lange und habe mittlerweile eine richtig gute Ausrüstung. Ich teile sie mit euch, wenn ihr mögt. Ich hätte als Gegenleistung gerne nur eine Sache. Ich bitte nur darum, mir Aufzeichnungen von jedem gefangenen Fisch zu zeigen. Je mehr ihr fangt, desto mehr Ausrüstung werde ich euch geben. Wenn ihr irgendwas braucht, ich bin immer da. Habt keine Angst herzukommen und mich anzusprechen. Ja. Jetzt haben wir endlich das Angelspiel. Also ich habe mir schon gedacht, dass man angeln können wird in dem Spiel, weil so oft es halt solche Stellen gibt. Bisher, muss ich sagen, fand ich es jetzt nicht so super. Aber gut, es hat halt auch nicht funktioniert. Puh, ihr habt mir das Leben gerettet. Jetzt kann ich mich wieder meiner vergesst das, was ich gesagt habe. Geht nur weiter.
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch? Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Ja, dann wollen wir mal... Oh, ich wollte den gar nicht ansprechen. Wir könnten tatsächlich mal kurz drüber gucken. Natürlich gibt es hier schon wieder viel bessere Waffen, aber mir fehlen die Sachen dafür. Gut, kann man gerade eher das nicht herstellen.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Was essen wir auf der Reise?
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Das Problem da war jetzt einfach, dass es voll die kurze Laufzeit hat. Es kann sein, dass wir demnächst wieder kochen müssen, aber gut. Mit wem reden wir?
Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomach ache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training, too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. See you guys tomorrow. You guys ready to hit the road? I know I am.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world,
I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danins in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danins in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Da ist halt jetzt eine komplette Diskussion drüber entstanden. Ich finde es im Übrigen gut, dass sie das aufklären, wieso die alle keinen Geiststein haben.
I'm not so good with airport targets.
Take this! I'm on it! You got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
Orochi's all yours! Double Demon Fang!
Thunder Field! Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
We're thinning them out. We
Take this!
I'll admit I'm impressed. Very slightly.
I think I'm getting stronger.
Oh yeah? Think you could beat me at arm wrestling?
When have I not beaten you?
Right. I'll just go on ahead then.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, mich hätte schon gewundert, wenn Alfred Level aufgestiegen ist, passieren. Wäre das eigentlich immer die erste.
Airborne beast. My feet. Where are you going? I'll finish you here now. I think I'm getting stronger.
Das nervt. Warum können Zeuge nicht stillstehen?
All right.
Hey, vielleicht wird es Zeit, dass ich meine Geheimwaffe einsetze. Ich kann sie an Ort und Stelle stoppen.
There's nowhere to run from my arts. When he slows down, that's our chance.
It's like trying to keep up with a wall. I'll tear you apart. It's go time. Arrows fly. Hurricane. By the eagle fly. Talon hurricane.
Prepare to be sealed, O fleet of foot. Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Less talking, more doing.
Prepare to be sealed. Destruction.
Burning strike. Lightning
Swallow dance.
Thunder blade.
Orochi's fury. Serpent knuckle.
Annihilation. Mega ray.
No further!
Gemini aqua.
Double.
Raging
Orochi's
cascade.
fury.
Go.
It's time.
It's over. Blah blah blah. Magic. In here.
Whirlwind
By the
snap.
power of water. Gemini aqua. Mega
No
ray.
further!
Wind
Eagle
after
fly.
up and at 'em. Let's go.
Now or never!
In here.
Dragon Tail.
Reload.
Destruction.
Freezing storm. Crossblade.
You're mine. You're finished.
Strike. Lightning
Strike.
By the power of water. Annihilation.
Double Demon Fang. Orochi's fury.
Come and get it. Bullseye. Raging cascade.
We're thinning them out. We
More like me.
I'll admit I'm impressed. Very slightly.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Cool.
I sense a strange power from this.
Dämonenzahn, Zerstörung, Schuss, Kraft, doppelter Zahn.
Everyone's still in one piece?
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Oder war es ein Pfirsichgelee? Das Das war natürlich ein Pfirsichgelee und damit können wir eigentlich gar nicht so viel anfangen, aber gut. So. Jetzt. Mal kurz auf die Karte. Erstmal da lang.
Little help!
Double demon fang!
Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Feel strike! Gladiator! It's a enthusiast! Freeze Lancer!
Pesky airborne scoundrel!
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Can't get out of this!
We're thinning them out! We...
Yeah, and funneling to me!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
Do it!
I'm not done!
Where are you going? Here comes Dance in the Wind!
I'm on it! We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right, no time to hold back.
Rip and tear! Now!
Here I come!
Kisara! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Dance in the Wind!
I'm on it! Watch this! Here I come! It's over!
Laden aus Stahl.
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No!
Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over.
Stop memorizing my move!
I won't forgive you!
Start up!
Water, hear my call!
Rolling snap!
Spread! Dance in the wind! Pierce evil!
Big blast!
Freeze Lancer!
Double demon fang!
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Swallow dance!
I'll take you all on! Strike!
First strike!
Now!
Destruction! Sion,
This ends now!
consider yourself finished!
Seems about right to me.
Hätte ja sein können, dass hier irgendwo noch was ist.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
This won't be easy.
Double demon fang!
Don't be such a pessimist.
I'm on it!
You're mine!
I'm ready!
Destruction! Orochi's fury!
Pierce evil!
Come one, come all!
Freeze Lancer!
The enemy feels we got the advantage.
We'll soon see about that.
Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because Raw's on it.
Do it! More for the
Double Demon
stockpile!
Fang!
Here I go! Not on my watch! You're mine!
Fury!
Reload! Raging Dohalim!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Mega Ray! Light Astral Energy! Alright!
Destruction! This one's all mine!
May a thousand gales tear you to shreds! Now!
Destruction! Xion!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Let's refrain from losing.
Gotta break through!
Here I
Double
go!
Demon Fang!
It's over!
Ferocious Fury!
Vanquish darkness!
Crush!
Mega Ray!
Eat dirt!
Where are you going?
I'm surrounded! Double Demon Fang! Ferocious Fury!
Neon! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go!
I'll tear you apart!
I'm only the enemy's art to
Double
me!
Demon Fang!
No complaints here!
None can escape my judgment!
It's over!
Do it!
Ridwell! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
Hier, meine kleinen
Go no
Teenies.
further!
Ferocious Fury! Eat this!
Sleep well!
Hurricane!
Here's a healing art!
Devil Dodge! Destruction!
First aid!
Light
Astral
Double
Energy!
Demon Fang!
Bananas shall escape my judgment! Wind
Ferocious Fury! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Our healing's coming through!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Light Astral
I'm on it.
Energy! More without
Oh,
me!
and I'll crush it.
Thunder
Destruction!
Blast!
Do it!
Spread! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go! Here I go! You're mine!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll run you through!
Spread!
Eat
Do
this!
it! You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
With this, I can become even stronger.
This'll make us even more formidable.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time.
It'll be a
Here's a
breeze.
healing art.
Get in, get out.
Glimmer Sleep now. More for the stockpile.
First strike!
Cyan
Destruction!
Talon Sword! Mega Ray! Let them
We'll handle this.
I'll finish you here and now.
Double
Now,
Demon Fang!
do it!
Ridwell!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
Okay, für sie war das nicht. Muss das gewesen sein? Oder? Ja.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
Huh. Wir laufen. Laufen Laufen wir erst wirklich da lang? Laufen erst hier lang. Oder? Laufen wir erst hier lang.
Get lost!
Dragon Show! Crush! This one's all mine!
Reload!
Crush! Eat this!
Searing
Destroy
flame!
this!
Reload!
Crush!
I'm out!
Swallow
Lost
dance!
in- Where are you going?
Double Demon Fang! Crush!
Right now!
Hut!
Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Eat that! Glimmer Dragon! Destruction! Crush! Do it! Orochi's Fury!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Certainly not bad. No complaints here.
No choice! Destruction! Rip and tear! Crush! Orochi's Fury!
Freeze Lancer!
Destruction! Swallow dance! Crush!
Firmament Render!
Crumble! Watch
You're
mine!
Law, get toasty!
Bird Strike! Those bombs of yours are amazing!
Who needs a gun when you can send them flying?
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
Okay.
So
Das war auf jeden
Mahag
Fall schon mal
Sar's just up
richtig.
ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here?
Little help!
Double Demon
Hear
Fang!
me! Flame of fury!
Burning!
Breaking
Water!
storm! Hear my call! Tunnel red! Light astral energy!
When did I get so
If it's in
popular?
the sky, it's mine!
Eat this!
Freeze
First
Lancer!
strike! Talon
Orochi's
Fury!
The tide of battle has turned! Shion! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Glacial spear! Pierce Evo!
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane!
Hold up. Is this as valuable as I think it is?
Ich war so auf den Kampf gegen einen Zeuge konzentriert, dass ich gestolpert und hingefallen bin. Passt auf, dass euch das nicht passiert. Danke für die Warnung.
Gotta break through!
You got none shall escape my judgment!
Here I come!
Tempest
You're
Swirl!
finished!
Not on my watch!
Orochi's Fury! Destruction!
The
Orochi's
freezing!
Fury!
Where are you going?
Swallow
Tempest
dance!
Swirl! Up and away! Let's go!
Hawkeye, Shion! Nuts!
Destruction!
Get out of my sight, my...
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
No backing down!
Me and
I'll tear you apart!
tear you to shreds!
Orochi's Fury! Crush!
Searing flame! Reload!
You picked the wrong fight!
Light astral... Lightning condemned! Mega
First
ray!
strike!
Once and weak!
Take this!
Mega ray!
First strike!
May a thousand gales
Double
tear you
Demon
to shreds!
Fang! Eagle
Scion
Fly!
instant!
Talon
Nail!
Storm! Orochi's Fury! Talon Hurricane!
Where are you going?
Crush! Destruction!
Now you see what I can do it!
Orochi's Fury!
Fly!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
First strike!
Raging tornado!
Crush!
Slow!
Orochi's
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Die Blumen, die irritieren ein bisschen. Ich denke mal, da ist irgendwas.
They got me flanked!
May a thousand gales tear you to shreds!
Glimmer Dragon!
Don't mind if I do!
Double Demon Fang! Orochi's Fury!
Hear me! Flaming
Dragon Shell!
Thunder Blade! Now!
Demons descend! Flashing Fang! Easy!
Way to go!
Orochi's Fury!
Arch Shield!
Ignite!
Raging Cascade!
Eat this!
Orochi's Fury!
Now! Astral Energy! Full throttle! Go! Lightning!
Dragon Shell!
Flame of Fury!
Water!
Light Astral Energy!
Almost! I hope
Permanent Render!
Take this!
It's over!
Swallow
You're
dare!
finished!
Bullseye, Shion! Nice!
Get out of my...
Oops, right, sorry, thanks.
With this, I can become even stronger.
Hey, new equipment!
So. Dann suchen wir jetzt hier alles ab und gehen dann erstmal da lang. Und dann muss ich mir einfach echt überlegen.
Let them no further!
Double Demon Fang!
Orochi's Fury!
Not on my watch! Hey, that... Searing flame! I never miss!
Double Demon Fang! Orochi's Fury!
Do it!
It's time!
I'll stop your movement.
And I'll stop your life!
Oh, ich glaube, das hatten wir gar nicht.
Orochi's Fury!
By the power of water! Showtime! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
First strike! Talon Hurricane! Destruction!
Eagle Dive!
Orochi's Fury!
This is barely target practice.
Then why bother fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away from a battle. Whoa! I won't forgive you!
Vanquish darkness!
Double Demon Fang!
Swallow dance!
Come and face me! I'm not done!
Streak!
Rip its head!
Excited! You're mine!
It's over!
I'll finish you here and
Here I
now!
come!
There!
Take this!
One more!
You're mine!
We got the advantage!
Good. Now just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry,
Do it!
Law's on it!
Into the shadows! Dance in the wind!
Big blast!
Destruction!
I can feel my precision improving.
No choice! Double Demon
None shall
Fang!
escape my judgment!
Destruction!
Orochi's
Orochi's
Fury!
Fury!
Talon Hurricane!
Ray!
Burn in hell! Orochi's Fury! Do it!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Lightning condemned!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm only getting this one's mine! One more time!
Orochi's Fury!
Annihilation!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off.
Orochi's Fury! Here and now! We did it!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more...
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Ich kam auf der Suche nach Nahrung und Waffen her, aber hier gibt's nichts als Zeuge. Nicht, dass ich mich in eurem Beisein darum Sorgen machen müsste. Das ist echt eine gute Frage. Wir gehen da dann.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being an... Forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Also bisher bin ich nicht so der Riesenfan von Dohalem. Aber das kann ich ja noch lösen. Gehen da lang, gucken, wo wir landen und gehen dann nochmal zurück.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even
Darauf war ich jetzt nicht vorbereitet.
Take this.
Glacial Spear! Piercing! Where are you going? Light Astra!
Enjoy.
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Destruction!
Will this help?
Dragon Shell!
Fall.
I really owe you. I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am.
None shall escape my
Hollow
judgment.
Dance! Destruction!
Enjoy.
In here! Here, let me help.
Show me your strength.
Okay, here I go.
Up and in! Let's go!
Destruction! Orochi's Fury!
Ich habe ehrlich gesagt gerade keine Lust zu sterben, weil, wie gesagt, ich war nicht darauf vorbereitet. Ich habe nicht gespeichert. Sehr gut.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. Oh? A wretch like you?
Shion!
Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey.
Okay, dann laufen wir wieder zurück. Und nehmen den anderen Weg. Da geht's lang. Dann doch. Ja, ich bin gerade ein wenig geschockt. Also ich dachte mir erstmal so, ey, nee, das wäre jetzt total dumm, wenn Shion stirbt, aber es macht doch keinen Sinn in der Story. Ja, gleichzeitig frage ich mich natürlich, wer war der Typ? Warum wollte er was von Alphen? Und ich meine, was mit Alphen Sache ist, das fragt man sich ja eh von Anfang an. Also, ich meine, der Typ kann sich an seine Vergangenheit nicht mehr erinnern. Der ist einfach komplett schmerzunempfindlich, trägt irgendeine Maske, die er nicht vom Gesicht kriegt. Ja, ist halt ziemlich komisch. Anscheinend haben die auch sich alles erzählt in der Gruppe. Ich meine, ich hab's mir schon nicht so mit Namen. Die hat ja gesagt, dass sie weiß, was mit Alphen ist, so von wegen, dass er sich nicht erinnert und so.
I gave it everything I had.
Kisara. So. Ich weiß nicht, ob das so eine gute Idee ist, jetzt mal ehrlich, ein paar Leute mit ins Team aufzunehmen und die einfach direkt aufzuklären. Also, ich meine, ja, Dohalim zum Beispiel scheint an sich kein schlechter Kerl zu sein, aber trotz allem kennen sie ihn nicht und der könnte seine Meinung ja auch jederzeit ändern. Ich meine, man hat ja auch gesehen, dass es, ich sag mal, sein Grund dafür, das Reich so gut zu führen, einen recht egoistischen Grund hatte. Und ja, wenn er jetzt sich umentscheidet und sagt, nee, eigentlich ist er doch nicht dafür, dass die Daenerys gleich behandelt werden, weil was auch immer, dann ja, dann sieht es ein bisschen problematisch für die Gruppe aus. Also ich meine, dann sind deren ganzen Geheimnisse halt verraten. Also gerade auf Rinwell bezogen, die ja daenerysche Magie, kann man sagen, einsetzen kann. das ist ja was, wenn das herauskommt, dann wird das auf jeden Fall ziemlich schnell, glaube ich, ausgemerzt werden. Okay, müssen wir hier vielleicht doch erst später hin, weil da geht es nochmal weiter. Naja. Wir laufen einfach mal, weil wenn es da weitergeht, werden wir wahrscheinlich eh nicht weiterkommen. Da unser Sternchen ja ganz am anderen Ende ist. Die Videos
What's that big tower over there?
Gleich an. Aber ich will das hier erst jetzt mal mir alles hier angucken.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
There are still so many creatures we don't know about.
Have you been writing stuff down about what we fight?
Yep. It's actually pretty fun to observe them from afar.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
The truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Ja, ich kann beide Seiten verstehen. Ich mag es auch nicht, wenn man die ganze Zeit meint, mich beschützen zu müssen und so. Aber gleichzeitig... Ja, er will ja eigentlich nur auf sie aufpassen.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay.
Ja. Da schauen wir später mal.
Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Habe ich irgendwie nicht drauf geachtet, was mir das Pferd gebracht hat. Okay. Dann wollen wir mal gucken, wo es da hingeht.
Hoodle?
Okay, also zum einen haben wir hier wieder was zum Einsammeln. Mir scheint so, als würden wir da noch gar nicht langkommen.
Not this way, I guess.
Ja. Gut. Dann geht's jetzt wieder zurück. Und den richtigen Weg kennen wir ja.
Hi, Hoodle!
Double
Glacial
demon fang!
Spear! Pierce
Orochi's
Ether!
fury! Glimmer drag!
Freeze
Shattering
Dancer!
to pieces! Attack time! You're mine! Eagle fire! Strike!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Here I come! We are freaking invincible!
Alvin and the others truly are strong!
What about me? Destruction! Orochi's fury!
Air thrust!
Destruction!
Take it!
That's freaking does it!
Vanquish darkness! Magna Ray!
Orochi's fury! Come and get!
An astral art?
That's my cue!
I'm on it! Orochi's fury!
Shut him down.
Ray! Dance in the wind!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shell!
Well, looky here!
Ja, das ist richtig. Hui.
Hoodle?
Achso, ich dachte, man kann da vielleicht rein. So, ich denke, ich werde dann auch bald aufhören wieder. Also wir gehen jetzt praktisch da noch hin und ich denke, dann werde ich erstmal aufhören.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
Huh. frage ich mich jetzt auch, was hier passiert ist, warum da diese Flagge hängt. Nichtsdestotrotz werde ich jetzt erstmal aufhören. Und ich würde sagen, dann verabschiede ich mich jetzt mal. Sag bis nächstes Mal. Tschüss.